I am literally just off the boat. Okay. I just got back last night at like 11 o'clock at night. So I am coming to you with super fresh information just about what this experience is going to be. Hey, make sure you subscribe for more hacks in the future. My goal tonight is to be able to kind of tell you what I learned and be able to tell you what you can expect if you're interested in going. So one of the other fun things about this for the next 11 months is you're going to have a bit of a chance to kind of connect with each other and see each other ahead of time. And then when you get on the boat, it'll be like a friend reunion. It'll be a really special opportunity to actually see each other and meet in real life. And the theme of the conference is sailing toward success, navigating education for the deaf in today's circumstances. We all know that today's circumstances are, a little rigorous, right? I feel like sometimes we're like this boat on the storm of the sea, and we're just trying to navigate to shore and figure out how we're going to not capsize and what tools we need to survive. The whole point of this cruise is to be able to support you and some of these challenges that we are experiencing. And it is a really unique conference, and it is special because of the special guests and the opportunity that you have to connect with each other. And you are my special guest on the cruise. So it is not like any other conference that you have ever been to. So if you recognize some of these names, there might be some more people who are being added to this picture as we go. I'm having a lot of conversations, and it's been really fun. And this is just the beginning. We may be adding people, and of course, we're going to have all of you as well. But Mama Who Hears is Michelle Who. I love Michelle. She fits this really beautifully because, first of all, she brings with her own experience as growing up deaf. And she has navigated, her family has navigated, her family is not from America. They navigated the educational system with a cultural background that is not like what we have, which is very much like many of our students are experiencing. And so she brings into this her personal perspective and then her professional perspective, because now she is an audiologist and she is a bilateral cochlear implant user. And she really is an amazing advocate and support system for families. So she really brings to this the how do we support families? How can families just understand the needs of their child? And then she brings that personal perspective. We've got the amazing Tina Childress here tonight. She is also going to be on the boat with us. Tina and I go way back, and Tina, I mean, I can't say enough about Tina. Of course, she also is a cochlear implant user and a deaf audiologist. I mean, how many are there in the world? And we're going to have two of them on the boat with us. But she's also a technology guru. So she's going to be helping with accessibility on the boat and making sure that everything is nicely accessible. Tina is a traveler, so she knows all about the questions to ask. She knows all about how we can help our students know what the questions to ask to be able to get their needs met. And again, technology guru. So she's going to be talking a lot about special technology, what she uses, and some different just things that can really impact our students' lives that we need to know about. If we don't know about it, how are our students going to know about it? And having Michelle and Tina on the boat with us, they're actually going to be showing us in real time what kind of technology they use and all kinds of things. Keith Wan is an ASL comedian and an actor. He's so funny. He's so fun. Just really looking forward. He's going to be our entertainment, but also just our fun company. And then, of course, I'm going to be on the boat, and many of you. So this is just a sneak peek of some of the people that will be on the ship with us. Let me just start from the very beginning. How did this even get started? Where did this come from? How did I get here? Because for years, I have been wanting to do something special for my teachers, for teachers of the deaf, for those of us who are kind of just in the desert, just kind of like going through this rugged terrain and feeling unappreciated, maybe isolated, maybe like we're not exactly sure if we're on the right track. And these days can get long and they can get hard. And for years, I have wanted to do something to pamper you. I feel like you deserve a special day. I've talked about doing spa retreats. I've talked about doing special events at special locations or camp retreats. I've been talking about this for a long time. And brainstorming, how can the online itinerant provide something that is just really special so that I can indulge and pamper those of you who just really deserve that? And maybe you don't get it. I want you to have that. Meanwhile, at the same time, I've been navigating and wanting to understand the needs of our families who are not from here, who have moved in, and now we've got students where all of our students have special and unique needs. Students whose families are from a different country have a whole additional layer. And it's hard for us to really meet those needs if we don't understand the background, if we don't understand the culture, if we don't understand where they're coming from. And I come from to you with full transparency that in working with some of the families that I have worked with, I have it wrongly felt frustrated. I have wrongly felt like, oh, why aren't my families advocating more? Why aren't they doing this? I've just felt like, oh, why? And I wanted to understand that better. And so that I could help that and get a better understanding of that. So I took that need and I combined it with the desire to do something special for all of you. And I married them. And here we are on this cruise, on this event. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get on a cruise ship and we are going to cruise in luxury to Cozumel, where we're going to really learn something that you don't expect. It's going to, no matter what you think you know, no matter what you think you expect, it's going to be different than that. And again, like I said, I'm just off the boat, so I'm just going to talk through this exact trip and what I learned, and then I'm going to tell you where we're at and where we're going to go from here and answer any of your questions. I am in front of the Carnival Valor. So just a little bit more background. When I decided to marry these desires, many of you know, I said before I do this, I need to try it out. I need to get my feet on the boat and I need to see if this is even a viable option. By the way, y'all, there are many professions that do this. They cruise their professional development all the time. Doctors do, real estate people do, travel people do. Many people do this. This is not a brand new concept. I just thought, why can't teachers do this? Why does everybody else get to have all the fun? Why can't we do it? So we got our feet on the boat on basically this exact cruise, but a Royal Caribbean version of the cruise. And we experienced Royal Caribbean and we did this, and it was definitely a learning experience. I did it without planning a whole lot ahead. I didn't have a formal conference planned. I just said, hey, who wants to try this out with me? And we had about 10 of us about. And we learned a lot. I mean, it was definitely educational and it was a whole lot of fun. So when we got back from that trip, I contacted Royal Caribbean and I said, great, I've learned what we want to do. I know exactly when and I know exactly where. And they said, fabulous. The only problem is we can't guarantee your conference space until 3 months out. And I was like, that's not going to work. I need conference space guaranteed more than 3 months out. So I had to shop around, and this is how I arrived at Carnival. And so, and this is also why I had to get back on the boat because this is a totally different boat. And the first one was such an educational experience. I knew I needed to experience Carnival. So the Carnival Valor is an older boat. It is a smaller boat, which is great because it actually keeps our cost down significantly. But it was just renovated. So I was just on the boat. I thought it was in great shape. I thought it was in great condition. And it is plenty big enough. You're going to see some pictures. You want to make sure to get there the day before. I will have a block of rooms reserved for us the day before. And you want that because just in case you get bumped or just in case you have travel problems, you have to get there before the boat leaves. And that is exactly what happened to me. I was supposed to get there on Wednesday and my flight got bumped. And that is why I am wearing what I'm wearing in these pictures because it was my pajamas, literally. I didn't have a change of clothes, so I just kind of had a t-shirt and pants. And so I'm not as fresh as I would normally look. But to get on the boat, you need a passport. You need a passport and you need your paperwork. And that's basically all. you want to allow plenty of time to get your passport. And here's a pro tip. Make sure your passport does not expire in the next 6 months. Because even though it's not expired, they consider it expired. They make sure it has to be more than 6 months valid, or else they don't count it as good. So look ahead, make sure that your passport doesn't expire until July of 2027. And otherwise, make sure that you update your passport. But what you see here for me, that's all you need to get into the terminal. We're going to leave out of New Orleans. And it's just like going into an airport terminal. You go through security, and in the security is much easier though than at the airport. And then you wait in the gate, and then they call your number. And when it's your turn to board, then they navigate you through. It's very easy. It is a very well-oiled machine. They have done this before, and you can tell. And you can also tell the people who have done it before because they know exactly how to travel and how to do it. Um, this is what it looks like when you're walking on. Everybody's kind of funneled in, and this is the actual cruise ship. So you walk in, and it's this beautiful kind of lobby area. There's music going. It's not chaotic. There's just people kind of in line. It's a beautiful set of stairs, and you're just kind of like in this, you're in the lobby, and it's really impressive. It's very beautiful. Um, and then they navigate you. You navigate to your room. And this is what we call the interior room. So this is the smallest room that they have. And you might be saying, okay, but wait, I think it's a king size bed. It's actually two beds that they squish into one. So if you're gonna have a roommate, they just take it and make it two single beds and they just pull it apart. And it's kind of like a small bedroom. You don't have a ton of room to walk in between each bed, but you have enough room. So this is the most budget-minded room. And I think it's just fine. I think it's cozy, but it's especially fine if you're not planning on being in the room a whole lot. You're mostly just gonna sleep there, and other than that, you're gonna be out and about. The next room that I want to show you is that this is a balcony room, and this is plenty big. Now this is the same size as the middle room. So the balcony is the top end that I have. The one that I showed you is the smallest one. And then the one in the middle, it looks just like this, but instead of the balcony door, there's a window. And again, this then breaks into two beds. And then this couch is a bed. And then they actually add like a little bunk bed type thing that kind of folds down. So that's how you get four people in there. So it's plenty comfortable. You can sleep four. You can be in there all by yourself. You can be in there from one to four people. Now, here's a little pro tip. The cruise actually mostly charges you for the room and then for the food. So it pretty much costs the same for one person as it does for two people because you're taking up the whole room. So if you want to get a roommate, then that pretty much takes your costs and it pretty much splits it in half. So if you are budget minded, then I want to encourage you to find a roommate. But these are the rooms, and they're fine. They're nice. They're quite nice. I was completely comfortable in my room. It was lovely. People come in, they make your beds. They put ice in your ice bucket. It's very well taken care of. This is the deck of the boat, and this is when everybody was just coming. So this is kind of the party. Now, I heard, and maybe you have heard this too, that uh Carnival's a party boat. That's what I had heard. And so I went on this week thinking, oh boy, it's going to be a party. So I was a little concerned about that because I thought, yeah, okay, it's a party, but maybe some people aren't going to want to party. Maybe some people are old like me and they just want to have some quiet. What's it going to be? What's it going to be like? So I will tell you, this is the pool area and this is the busiest area on the boat. But I will tell you, the boat is way bigger than this pool area. So there is lots of space on this boat that you can walk around and you can either be in the party or you can not be in the party or you can be anywhere in between. So it's gonna be exactly your vibe, however you want. And this is actually more what it looks like most of the time. So you can see there are people here, but it's not like, you're not bumping into people all the time. This little area right here is where they host some fun events, like they have like little dance parties or they have ice sculpture contests. And so this kind of gets a little bit busier here. But otherwise, oh, and we're going in January. So there will be some children on the cruise, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be stepping on kids' toes the whole time. And it's going to be, you can bring your kids. There's lots of kids' activities. See the water slide? That water slide is for kids. That's fun. It's really cool. But you will always be able to find a chair. You will always be able to find a chair, but there will also always be activity. Okay, so here's some more examples of the areas on the boat. So this is just, kind of where some of the action is. And in here, there is a music playing, and there's a bar here. Couple of bars, number of bars on the boat, for sure. But you can avoid them too. Beautiful. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty boat. There is a casino. There is a casino on board on the boat. If you are in the casino and you are playing games at the casino, you are allowed to smoke. Other than that, there's no smoking except for there's a certain area on the boat that you can. And I am not a smoker, but I was not really bothered by the smoke. It wasn't the smoke on the Royal Caribbean boat that we were on last time, I thought was much worse than the smoke that was on this one. So if you're not a smoker, it's not terrible, but you can smoke in that area only if you're gambling. There are these little ducks all around the boat. People hide them. And it is very fun to try to find the ducks. You can find them, you can keep them, you can re-hide them, you can do whatever you want, but that is a fun activity. You will not see any until you do. And then all of a sudden you won't be able to not see them. I told my husband, we were on the boat, it was at the last day, and I said to him, I haven't seen any ducks. I wonder if they do that on this boat. And so I posted they have their own Facebook group. The Carnival Valor has its own Facebook group. So I posted in the Facebook group, do they hide ducks on this boat? And the Facebook post exploded. I had like 300 people, respond yes, and pictures and all that. And my husband said, I do not think that that's true. That is not true. They must have been on like a different boat, different time. And no kidding, we're walking down to dinner and we're just walking and the person next to us squeals and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I see one." And she, like right in front of our eyes, she pulls out a duck. And we're like, "Oh, where did that come from? We didn't see that." And then the next thing we knew, we couldn't stop seeing them. They were everywhere. So the ducks are on the boat. This was very fun. There is a walking track up on the top. So you can walk, you can get exercise, and this little green area is a miniature golf. You can play, it's all included. Miniature golf is included as well. Here is just another area. This is kind of a chill area, lots of just seating, good lighting, so you can sign, you can talk, you can have conversation. There are these ice cream machines all around the boat, so you'll be able to get ice cream anytime you want, pretty much. That is my husband, by the way, indulging in the ice cream. And there's also frozen yogurt. So one side is ice cream, the other side is frozen yogurt. I thought that was kind of cool. Here's the miniature golf. Anybody can play anytime. So it's just a nice way to be chill. And it's up in the top of the boat. So it's like this gorgeous, gorgeous view. Really pretty. This is the main dining room. So this is how this works. We will have dinner together at 6 p.m. And you can join us in the main dining room or and hang out with everybody and network and talk. Or you don't have to because there's tons of food on this boat. There are like restaurants that are open all day long, pretty much. And they are especially by that pool area. And then there's like this cafeteria area. And so there is food available and specialty restaurants. And there's this it's called Guy's Burger Joint. What's that guy's name? Guy Ferrari. Everybody know who I'm talking about. So he's partnered with Carnival. He's got a burger place and they're the best burgers. Delicious. I think my husband had like 3 of them a day. 4. He's checking my story. He's sitting here. So they're really tasty. In the main dining room, they give you a menu and you choose what you want to eat. And you have an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. And you can choose as much as you want. You can choose 2 entrees. You can choose 2 desserts. What if you can't choose, they say bring you both. And they bring it to you and they serve you like it's a fancy restaurant. There is one theme night. There's one formal night that you can dress up if you want. You don't have to, but that's kind of fun. So that's what you can expect. And all of that is included. So all of the main food is included in the cruise. There are some exceptions, like you can upgrade, and then they will upcharge you for that. You just put it on your room tab and they do that. Or there are some specialty areas, like there's a sushi restaurant, and that's extra, so you can do that. So there are some things that are an upgrade that you get charged for, but everything else is just included in the cruise. You will not go hungry. Then they have different, here's another picture of the miniature golf, but then they have other little events like bingo, they have game shows, they had Deal or No Deal. Okay, Deal or No Deal. And you can play these game shows. They cost extra, but you don't have to put, you can play if you want, you can not play if you want. It's cash prizes though. We played, we won on the scratchy tickets. We didn't win bingo, but some of those people won like $1,000. At one point they were doing $3,000. So, I mean, if that is your thing, then there's some fun stuff there. And then this is just a picture of kind of the chill areas. So this is like in the middle of the day and in the evening. You can see outside, it's dark here. And these are just some areas that if you just want to hang out, you want to play games, you want to talk, you want to visit, then if you don't want to be in the loud area, or if you can't hear or anything like that, then you've got a lot of areas that you can sit and just hang out with each other. This area called the library, and it is just there. People are playing games in there all the time. People are playing board games and card games and stuff like that all over the ship all the time. So just lots of opportunities for that. And this is the ship at night. Isn't that pretty? It's just beautiful. Just a really, really, really pretty boat. Um, so that is the boat.
So, I can't remember how many days total are we on the boat?
Great question. So we get on Thursday. So the boat leaves like I think at 3:30 is when they kind of close the doors and they, set sail. So that's Thursday. We sail all day Friday. Friday morning through like 1:30 is the current schedule for us to do professional development. From 1:30 on is the current schedule, subject to change, but will be like for the purpose of our professional development credits, because you can earn professional development credits. It's called collaboration time, but it's your time to kind of just hang out and network with each other. And shop talk is absolutely allowed, right? Shop talk is absolutely encouraged. In fact, you'll have a worksheet, and if you're able to kind of ask some questions and learn some resources, then you'll get credit for hanging out and learning something from the people that you're hanging out with. Okay, so that is all day on Thursday. Friday is in Cozumel. And I will talk about that in a second. Cozumel, there we are in the process of creating a service project will be optional, or you can just enjoy the island. So that's Saturday. Then we get back on the boat. Sunday is a sailing day, and then we get off the boat on Monday. So technically 5 days. And then of course you're going to want to come a day before. So you want to arrive in New Orleans on Wednesday so we can get on the boat on Thursday, Friday. Okay. So it'll be Wednesday to Monday. And Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So many of you have Martin Luther King Day off. I did that intentionally. So if you have that vacation day, then you don't have to worry about taking an extra day off. So in terms of your planning, you just need to plan for, Thursday and Friday off, maybe Wednesday, depending on how long it takes you to travel. Okay. So Wi-Fi is not included in your cost. Now you can purchase Wi-Fi and you will not need it for the conference. And I will be providing you like little tips and secret hacks and things that I've learned. I decided this trip because I needed Wi-Fi, obviously. The package for Wi-Fi, I think they charge you like $30 a day. So if you get that for 5 days, I mean, that kind of adds up. If you want Wi-Fi, then I would recommend you just do it on the travel days, because here's why. We leave on Thursday. You're in New Orleans on Thursday. You've got coverage. If you've got Wi-Fi, if you've got data on your phone and you can do a hotspot on your phone or anything like that, then you can use your phone or you can access. Okay. That's Thursday. That's Thursday. Friday, we're sailing. I got Wi-Fi on Friday. I did not get Wi-Fi on Saturday because I was in Cozumel. I didn't need Wi-Fi. I was in Cozumel. But in Cozumel, you have Wi-Fi. And if your cell phone has data that accepts Mexico or out of country, then you have that. You can use your cell phone there. So then I got Wi-Fi for the next day that I was sailing all day. And then the next day I was off the boat. So I did use Wi-Fi, but I cut my costs in half by just getting it daily on those 2 days that we were at sea. You can't do that until you're on the boat. Cannot purchase that ahead of time. So Carnival has its own app, and that tells you your schedule and the menu and all that stuff. And you can text each other inside the app, the people who are on the boat with you. But Carnival charges you $5 to do that. The online itinerary, I'm going to see if I can cover that for you. I don't know if I can. We'll see about that. But it might be worth the $5 just so you can text each other and be in communication. So I would recommend that, but it is an upcharge on Carnival. When we were on Royal, it was spotty. It didn't always work. The other thing when we were on Royal is if you were Apple to Apple or Android to Android, you could communicate with each other. But I did not have that luck on Carnival. For some reason on Carnival, they were like, it was not consistent. So it would be worth potentially getting that extra $5. And I'll know more about that. We still have 11 months to go. So I'll get those details as we get closer. But again, like I said, the schedule will be professional development in the morning through lunch and then one more after lunch because we want to get our professional development in. It's going to be great professional development. You get to hear Michelle, who you get to hear Tina, you get to get prepared for Cozumel, you get to hear, oh, Gabriella is here. She is our liaison. She is also our special guest. She's our presenter when it comes to understanding our students from Mexico. You're going to love learning from Gabriella. This is not going to be professional development that you want to miss. On the other hand, you are on a cruise, and if you do miss it, then we understand. So there isn't anybody who is going to be who is going to be calling you out or chasing you down. However, in order for me to provide you with professional development certificate, I do have to validate that you have attended the sessions. So I won't be chasing you down, but if you're not there, I won't be able to give you the certificate of training. Is there a specific place to post or find roommates? This is a great question. First of all, the Facebook group that is specific for this cruise is going to be one spot. And I am going to add into the, in your library, you've got the information on the cruise. I haven't added it yet, but your question was like, oh, that's a good idea. I will add in there that where you can post inside your library and inside the cruise section. So that will be coming. Don't hesitate to start reaching out now.
Visit our website to learn more about our 2027 cruise and how to sign up to join us. Catch part 2 to learn more about our service project in Cozumel and a Q&A.